My name is Sue Weil, and I work for the Washoe County Public Guardian's Office. I am a Deputy Public Guardian. The topics today will be alternatives to guardianship, the rights of a protected person, and the things that need to be done prior to the filing for a guardianship. Alternatives to guardianship include supported decision-making, bill pay, and money management assistance, substitute or representative payee, durable powers of attorney for finances and property, trusts, joint property ownership, joint bank accounts, community agencies and services, case and care management, durable powers of attorney for health care, and advanced care planning tools. The part today that I'm going to talk about is the alternatives for financial assistance. Generally speaking, when you're talking about alternatives to guardianship, the rule is that the individual who you're looking at offering services to must have capacity in order to allow these things to happen. They have to be able to agree and consent to them themselves. Additionally, they have to be willing to cooperate with the people who are offering the assistance. So locally, there are bill-paying individuals, entities that will help pay your bills. You can authorize them to have authority at looking at your bank account. They can assign, they can become a representative payee for your bank account, and they can ensure that the bills are paid, that expenses are maintained, that you have enough money in the bank to actually cover the expenses. Similarly, with durable power of attorney for finances, the individual will choose a person who they want to fill that role for them. For a durable power of attorney for finances, the person must have capacity in order to enact that action. So they'll choose a person, but they have to have capacity and can plan for that takeover if something happens and they become demented. There are also trusts that can be established within a family. You can have joint ownership of property so that on a title of a property, your name is on there as well as your person that you are assisting. There also can be joint bank accounts where the bank account is titled in your name as well as your person's name, giving you signature authority on the bank account. The thing that's really important to remember is that your person has to be able to cooperate. Oftentimes families find that their person is willing to agree to allow someone else to look into their bank account initially. As they go through this phase of their life, they become less cooperative. As long as a person has the ability to consent for a representative payee or a substitute representative, they also have the ability to withdraw that consent. Oftentimes you find with family members, their elder or the person that they're advocating for starts to dement a little bit, they will demonstrate paranoia. The causes can be from some sort of an infection in their body. For elders, it's often a urinary tract infection or an upper respiratory infection, or it can be the advancing of the dementia. It's important to have that perspective when you are dealing with your person so that you don't feel quite so attacked and assaulted when they start making accusations. How could my mother ever possibly say that about me? I've loved her forever. Well, it isn't her that's talking. It's whatever the issue is, whether it's the infection or the dementia progressing.
I'm Dr. Elaine Brown, and I work as the Chief Psychologist for State of Nevada Developmental Services. I welcome the opportunity to talk about alternatives to guardianship, particularly supported decision-making. I have spent over 20 years working in the field of intellectual and developmental disabilities, and this topic has not only professional significance for me, but also personal. I support and am supported by 4 wonderful siblings who have disabilities. In this segment of the training, I will describe what is supported decision-making, when it can be useful, and some alternatives and resources that might be helpful. What is supported decision-making? It is an alternative to guardianship that allows a person with a disability to make his or her own decisions with support from a team or designated supporters. The individual designates who they would like in their network to help them make decisions. Guardianship, on the other hand, is considered substitute decision-making. The guardian has the authority to make the decision. With supported decision-making, the person makes their own decisions with assistance from a trusted network. All of us confer with family, friends, colleagues, and professionals on a regular basis to help us make decisions, but the decision is ours. That's the foundation for supported decision-making. Why is supported decision-making important? It allows for increased self-determination, autonomy, and dignity. We make choices and decisions daily, and there are many examples where these choices can be made with assistance from people we trust. For example, decisions or choices about living arrangements, medical treatment, social experiences, finances, relationships, and long-term plans. Those are just a few examples where an individual can get assistance from trusted supporters. In some circumstances, guardianship can be viewed as overly protective because it takes away a person's rights to make their own decisions. Supported decision-making is more rights-focused. The construct of supported decision-making has been evolving for over 2 decades. It was further promoted in 2006 when the United Nations Convention of the Rights of People with Disabilities voted to adopt Article 12. That article states that persons with disabilities enjoy legal capacity on an equal basis with others in all aspects of life, and that all parties shall take appropriate measures to provide access by persons with disabilities to support they may require in exercising their legal capacity. So rather than taking the position that a person must have legal capacity and the ability to make independent decisions without assistance, supported decision-making is more in line with a social model that all people can exercise decision-making given supports. What does supported decision-making look like? It can be formal or informal. A more formal approach involves creating a written agreement between the supported person and their supporters. Some states and communities recognize such agreements. An informal approach might not involve a written agreement, but still allows for a person to use trusted people to assist with decisions. Supported decision-making as an alternative to guardianship does not involve a specific evaluation of capacity. However, it is necessary for the supported person to be able to indicate who they want as a supporter and to have a trusting relationship with the supporter. They will need to indicate wishes or choices and know that they are the final decision makers. Supporters may be family members, friends, advocates, and others. They need to understand the supported person's communication, gather information for the supported person, and assist the person in making a decision or conveying wishes. A supporter should not advance their own views, and they should be willing to support a person in making decisions that they would not personally choose. No person always makes good decisions. As an alternative to guardianship, it is possible to combine supported decision-making with other alternatives, such as power of attorney for medical or healthcare decisions. Nevada does not currently have supported decision-making agreements written into its laws. While individuals can enter into agreements of their choice, supported decision-making agreements may or may not be recognized as valid documents. If you would like more information, the National Center for Supported Decision-Making has many resources that are readily available. We know that decision-making is fundamental to our self-determination and dignity, no matter how big or small a decision. As a professional in the field of intellectual and developmental disabilities, as a parent, as a sibling, I welcome the opportunity to talk about supported decision-making. We are working toward the fulfillment of a promise that all people have the right to make choices in their lives with the support of trusted family, friends, and networks.
Hello, my name is Ruth Simonis, and I'm going to speak today on alternatives for care of person. When exploring alternatives for the care of a disabled or impaired individual, there are a number of community resources and services which are available to assist individuals, family members, or caregivers to meet the daily care needs of those experiencing functional limitations. Let's begin by looking at a few of these community agencies. First, let's look at Aging and Disability Services Division. The Aging and Disability Services Division is extensive and provides a number of programs too, as their website indicates, quote, provide a comprehensive support system across the lifespan to allow all of Nevada elder, children, and adults with disabilities or special health care needs to live independent, meaningful, and dignified lives to the greatest extent possible, unquote. To that end, their programs target persons with autism, infants and toddlers with disabilities, persons with intellectual and physical disabilities, and finally, programs for seniors. Their services range from adaptive equipment to in-home services like bathing, light housekeeping, or shopping, to protective services, to long-term care placement. To begin exploring the nature and range of their services, I recommend you review their website at adsd.nv.gov. If you prefer to speak with someone in person, I would start with local Aging and Disability Resource Center, also known in the state of Nevada as the Nevada Care Connection. You can view their website at nevadaadrc.com to find the Aging and Disability Resource Center located in Washoe County. You can see from their website that they partner with a number of community organizations to serve as a single point of entry to help individuals, families, and caregivers know what is available in the community, establish a plan for long-term care, and finally get connected up with the needed services. One of those services may be public benefits programs such as Nevada Medicaid. Nevada Care Connection can provide information to access Medicaid services. Nevada Medicaid provides various benefits, which may include doctor visits, dental and vision care, mental health and related services, birth control services during pregnancy, family planning, emergency services, medical equipment, prescription drugs, rehab, immunizations, lab tests, transportation, nursing, speech and hearing services, and other services available through the waivered program. For additional questions or to make application for Medicaid benefits, see dwss.nv.gov or speak with a member of the Nevada Care Connection team. In addition to Aging and Disability Services and Nevada Medicaid, I would now like to briefly summarize a few other community partners and the types of services which may be available from these organizations. Let's start with Washoe County Human Services. Now, this is a massive program, and as you will see, it's broken down into a number of smaller organizations. Now, the services that fall under this program include Children's Services, which includes Child Protective Services, foster care, adoption, and clinical services, just to name a few. Adult Services, in broad strokes, these services include resources for the poor and needy, group homes, access to extended care, burial and cremation services, adult protective services, supportive housing, and case management, among other additional services. The Senior Services program provides adult day health services, nutritional support services through the availability of group meals or home meals delivery program, otherwise known as Meals on Wheels. And then the social service programs which assist with financial management, case management, homemaker services to assist individuals aged 60 and older to meet their basic daily care needs. You can find more information about these services through your local senior centers. Now I know some of you might say, I've tried and I don't qualify. Yes, eligibility for several of these programs are linked to income and resource limitations, but those eligibility requirements vary significantly based on many factors. Just because you may not be eligible for one program at a given point in time doesn't mean you won't be eligible under a different program or in the future as your care needs and circumstances change. It is best to know what is available and the eligibility criteria for those programs. Turning to other community programs, there is Retired Seniors Volunteer Outreach Program available through the Sanford Center for Aging at UNR. There is also a rural nonprofit RSVP headquartered out of Carson City. Both programs match senior volunteers with identified needs in the community. For example, both programs promote the goal to keep seniors independent with the assistance of RSVP volunteers. These services may include socialization and companionship, or transportation, or possibly light housekeeping on a sliding scale fee. You can learn more about the program by contacting Sanford Center for Aging at unr.edu.or, for the RSVP Rural Program at nevadaruralrsvp.org. Now let's take a look at the local home health and home care agencies. These organizations provide medical and skilled in-home services while home care agencies provide non-medical personal care. The skilled home health services can be given in your home for an illness or injury. They are often less expensive, more convenient than a hospital or nursing facility, and most likely covered by insurance. Whereas non-medical home care or personal care agencies are typically private pay, but their assistance enable one to avoid long-term care placement outside the home for as long as possible. If an individual is having trouble paying their bills and have Social Security income, there are the local representative payee programs to assist with monthly bill pay. The Social Security Administration can appoint a family member, friend, or private agency to manage the funds of a recipient. Oftentimes, these private agencies can assess for additional needs or services beyond financial management and initiate referrals to appropriate community agencies or providers. In addition, if the impaired individual is unable to manage their VA income, a federal fiduciary can be appointed to manage their federal income. Often, this financial management service enables individuals to remain in independent living. Now, some of you may be veterans or the family member or friend of a veteran and may be wondering about other VA benefits. Veterans Administration offers a broad range of services to active duty military, veteran, and their family members. The Veterans Resource Center provides homeless prevention and rehousing, permanent supportive housing, transitional housing, behavioral health treatment, nutritional services, case management, employment, and training programs to low-income veterans. Through the medical center and community-based outpatient clinics, enrolled veterans have access to a broad range of medical and mental health treatments, medical equipment and supplies, caregiver services, homeless veterans program, supported housing, compensated work therapy, rehabilitative and restorative therapy, wellness programs, dental, vision, and hearing services, long-term care services, and transportation. This list is not exhaustive by any means, but my hope is that you will seek out VA to explore whether services may be available to meet your needs. For caregivers providing care to a veteran at home, VA has a home-based primary care program for our eligible homebound veterans, which bring members of the interdisciplinary treatment team to the veteran's home. Rather than having the veteran go to the clinic comes to them. In addition, VA may be able to pay for eligible veterans to receive adult day health, in-home bathing, light housekeeping, or in-home or inpatient care to provide respite to a primary caregiver. In some rare situations, a veteran may be eligible for contracted nursing home care. While most services are available to all ERA veterans enrolled at the Reno VA Medical Center, others have eligibility requirements which depend on a variety of factors. I recommend you follow up with the staff of the Reno VA Medical Center to discuss your specific care needs. In addition to speaking with the staff at the Reno VA Medical Center, you may wish to speak with a Veterans Service Organization to explore the broader range of services available through Veterans Administration. As a VA partner, the Veterans Service Organizations are there to help you fill out forms, tell you about VA benefits, and also provide a wide range of help for veterans and their dependents. They can help you write and submit your VA claims, provide information, and link you up to services for housing, legal services, burial benefits, education, employment, health and wellness programs, or long-term care services. One of the VA benefits of interest to many anticipating long-term care are the financial resources of the VA aid in attendance or homebound pensions. These funds may be used to cover the cost of long-term care expenses, whether received in-home or community-based for eligible recipients. These are needs-based programs, so there are income and resource limitations. In addition, there are other medical and service criteria which must be met to qualify for these non-service connected pensions, but the Veteran Service Officer can review your situation and assist you with the application process. Essentially, the Veteran Service Officers serve as an advocate for the veteran. For a list of Veteran Service Officers available nationwide, see nvf.org/veteran-service-officers, or you can call the Reno Regional Benefits Office at 1-800-827-1000. Now, this by no means is an exhaustive list of available community agencies and services. This will hopefully help you get started in the right direction, understanding that many agencies will initiate referrals to other agencies once they know specifically what you need. Another general place to look is nevada211.org. You can search their website on a given topic, shoot them an email question, or give them a call at 1-866-535-5654 to explore available resources. In turning to case and care management services and exploring alternatives to care of a person, I would like to start by discussing case management provided by Washoe County Senior Social Services mentioned above. As part of their program, they provide ongoing case management and care coordination services to low-income, functionally impaired seniors who are at risk of institutionalization to assist them to maintain their independence. Local hospitals, medical offices, or skilled nursing facilities may provide case management to coordinate community resources with the goal to promote and support the maintenance of or return to independent living. Aging and Disability Service may provide case management and care coordination for seniors needing emergency services, protection from abuse or exploitation, or provision of Medicaid waivered in-home services or group home placement. These case management services are typically made available through agency-specific funding or government programs. As such, the agency will define the limits and scope of the case management service. For care management, I would like to look at home care agencies previously discussed. Typically, a plan of care is both established and provided by the home care agency after an assessment and discussion of the client's needs and preferences. The goal being to coordinate care to meet the client's needs, promote a better quality of life, and to maintain independence to the extent possible. These services are typically private pay and provided in the client's home, though may be available in other settings, such as independent or assisted living settings. Other examples of care management might include a group home. Typically, the group home staff see to the entire daily care needs of their client, including coordination with medical providers, pharmacies, and other community agencies as appropriate. The client's preferences and functional abilities are taken into consideration with a goal towards providing quality of life and patient-centered goals within the limitations afforded by this shared community placement. Group homes may receive private funds or a combination of private and government funds. Senior assisted living communities may provide some care management depending on the level of care needs and supplemental services provided. Generally, assisted living facilities provide a supportive senior living environment for those who need minimal assistance with their daily care needs. These housing options are typically private pay with costs dependent upon the type of additional services needed. As service needs increase, an individual may require a higher level of care, such as a nursing home. Due to the extraordinary cost of 24-hour medical nursing home care, individuals requiring this level of care will likely need to qualify for state Medicaid to cover placement expenses unless they are fortunate enough to have private long-term care insurance. Typically, these placements occur as a step down from an acute medical setting given the eligibility criteria. There are state and federal financial protections afforded the well community spouse if married, along with avenues to obtain the necessary nursing home care should an individual exceed Medicaid thresholds. For a couple facing nursing home care, it might be a good idea to consult with an elder care attorney who understands Medicaid rules to ensure proper planning. Finally, private care management services are available from certified care managers. Typically, when it involves the care of seniors, they are called geriatric care managers. Geriatric care managers are typically healthcare professionals with special expertise in the area of elder care issues. They assist family caregivers by identifying the particular needs of the family, the level of care needed, and the optimal living environment for the senior. They can assist the family in navigating the medical system, as well as planning, coordinating, and supervising services under a unified plan of care. This works especially well when family or loved ones are out of state and unable to directly participate in care. The care manager serves as the point of contact to maintain good communication between the family, loved ones, and other members of the care team. In review, there are a number of community agencies and organizations which offer services to those with functional limitations with the goal to maintain or improve quality of life and continued independence while supporting client-centered goals in the setting of the client's choice to the extent possible. As an individual's care need increase, private and government-funded resources may be available to provide more comprehensive long-term care services in a community setting. Individuals, family, and loved ones, I encourage you to evaluate where you are now, what services might be helpful now, and then plan ahead to learn more about services you may need in the future. Since I've asked you to think about what you might need in the future, I would like to move on to discuss the advanced care planning tools. So what are advanced care planning tools and why do you need them? We talk about advanced care planning in the context of the loss of decision-making capacity, whether to illness or injury. Advanced care planning tools give you voice and ensure your wishes and preferences are honored when you're not able to speak for yourself. One of the most common tools is an advance directive. An advance directive is a written statement or instruction to a healthcare provider by a person who has decision-making capacity regarding preferences about future healthcare decisions in the event they become unable to make those decisions. It enables an individual to refuse or consent to future treatment. There are several types of advance directives. There's the healthcare power of attorney, which is a legal document that enables an individual to appoint another person, a healthcare agent, to make medical decisions on their behalf when the individual cannot. They can make several decisions, such as whether to start or stop clinical treatment, admit you to a healthcare institution, or access medical records, just to name a few. The decision-making options and scope of their authority depends on individual preference. There's also the living will or directive to physician. These terms are often used interchangeably. A living will or directive to physician is a legal document that an individual will use to state their preferences regarding future treatment options and typically includes statements specifically about life-sustaining treatment, but may include preferences about other types of health care such as transfusions, pain management, or mental health treatment. Nevada has a living will declaration, specifically regarding the withholding and withdrawing of life-sustaining treatment by a physician or named third party. The above identified healthcare powers of attorney and/or living will, directive to physician, or declaration as they're all known, are available as state-authorized documents or may be prepared by legal services. When it comes to the VA, they use a federally authorized document called an advance directive. It's made up of two parts: the living will, which discusses your treatment preferences and the appointment of a healthcare agent to make medical decisions when you cannot. You can complete one section or both. The VA advance directive also asks you about any mental health preferences and allows you to attach additional pages, including the mental health preferences worksheet, to express any additional treatment preferences. What we have been looking at so far are advance directives anticipating future impairment and the loss of decision-making capacity. Based on current health conditions and present circumstances, an individual may wish to talk with their medical provider about executing a Nevada PULSE, or physician order for life-sustaining treatment. This medical order implements an immediate plan of care, taking into consideration the patient's goals, values, and treatment preferences, perhaps expressed in an advance directive. Because the PULSE is a medical order, it tells emergency medical personnel and other healthcare providers whether to administer CPR or cardiopulmonary resuscitation, and includes directions about other life-sustaining measures, such as intubation, antibiotic use, and feeding tubes, just to name a few. The PULSE may be used in addition to or instead of Nevada's Do Not Resuscitate order, which I'll discuss in a minute. A PULSE form must be signed by a doctor and the patient or legally authorized surrogate, and may be used in or out of a medical facility due to its portability across all lines of care. In fact, there are many assisted living facilities and nursing homes who specifically ask for the, quote, pink form upon admission. But keep in mind, execution of a PULSE is optional and not required for admission. As of July 1, 2017, the Nevada PULSE underwent a few statutory changes reflected in NRS 449.693. The new legislation expanded the authority of additional classes of clinicians who can sign the medical order, as well as expanded the class of individuals who are legally authorized to consent to the physician order for life-sustaining treatment, among a few other additional changes. If you're interested in learning more about the physician order for life-sustaining treatment and whether it may be appropriate for you, please contact your medical provider. Now, for those of you who are veterans or caring for a veteran, the VA will honor the Nevada Pulse upon admission to a VA treatment setting, but the VA has its own life-sustaining treatment protocol, which will be used while you are receiving VA medical care and treatment. However, because we know our veterans live in the community, in addition to establishing a life-sustaining treatment plan for use within the VA system, you can request the completion of the Nevada Pulse to be used in all non-VA care settings. Finally, Nevada has had for some time the Do Not Resuscitate Order or Do Not Intubate medical order, or commonly referred to as the Orange Card. While the DNR identification card is still valid, medical providers are encouraging the completion of the Nevada Pulse because it provides greater clarity and guidance on a variety of medical treatment preferences in addition to CPR. We've been focusing primarily on advanced care planning tools as they relate to medical care and medical decision making. Let's take a brief look now at a few of the available financial tools. First, there is the power of attorney. A power of attorney is a written document whereby an individual, i.e. the principal, appoints or delegates authority to make financial decisions and manage income and assets on behalf of the principal. Delegation of authority can be broad or narrow. Durability is an important feature to enable authority to extend beyond the incapacity of the principal. Many financial powers of attorney take effect immediately, while others require a statement of incapacity by a treating physician, otherwise known as springing powers. A power of attorney is an instrument executed by an adult who has capacity, authorizing another individual to act as his or her agent. Once the individual loses capacity, this advanced care planning tool is no longer available, and frankly, the alternatives can be quite costly. So make every effort to address this while the individual retains financial decision-making capacity. Now, some of you may be interested in setting up a revocable living trust. This can be a somewhat expensive advanced care planning tool and may ultimately be counterproductive if you anticipate needing to qualify for Medicaid to address catastrophic medical expenses. However, it is a tool which provides a way of managing your estate and may prevent the need for guardianship upon loss of capacity to the extent assets are actually held in the name of the trust. For any additional information or questions about the pros or cons of establishing a living trust, please seek out local legal counsel. Finally, there are several national organizations that speak to the need to plan ahead for potential incapacity and loss of decision-making capacity. But I want to draw your attention to the National Alzheimer's Association. They have an excellent website discussing financial planning, assisting those with cognitive impairment to once again plan ahead. They provide a legal and financial worksheet to assist you in organizing your documents and taking inventory of all your assets and debts, planning ahead for a time when your financial agent will need to step into your shoes and manage your financial estate. In addition, they provide 4 comprehensive booklets developed by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which addresses several issues, including the duties, responsibilities, and resources, whether serving as a financial power of attorney, trustee, court-appointed guardian, representative payee, or federal fiduciary. This information can be located at www.alz.org/I-financing.asp. As we come to the conclusion of our session, I hope this information has been helpful and can be used to guide you as you take your next steps to plan ahead using one or several of the advanced care planning tools, and as you begin to explore the scope of community resources and services available to support you in your journey to live your life to the fullest. Thank you.